What's up, guys? Stephen Howell here, and forgive the bags under my eyes this morning. My wife and I, we just got back from a recent little 4 or 5 day road trip up to her parents' house in Cleveland, Ohio. We have a new baby girl, our daughter. She's almost 3 months old. She's finally starting to sleep through the night, and even though she has a little acid reflux at times, which keeps her up at night, thankfully she sleeps through the night. But we just got back in last night, and I was determined, as you've seen in some of my previous videos, that I'm starting to tweak my daily routine and my schedule and getting up at 4:30 in the morning. So I had my alarm set this morning for 4:22 a.m. And actually, our daughter was up a little bit earlier than that, so I was up about 4:10 this morning, and I went ahead and decided to go ahead and get my workout out of the way, my CrossFit workout. And so kind of getting back into the swing of things with working out and all of that. And so if my eyes have some circles under them, please forgive that. But today we're going to talk about something really, really important, and that is, why aren't you a real estate investor? So maybe you have been thinking about like a new business you can start, or something that you can do to generate some extra money for you and your family to live the lifestyle that you want to live, whether that's spending more time with your wife and your child, or children, or husband, or maybe spend more time with family, or retire your parents, or save for a college fund or a savings account for a child, or maybe to pay off a house so you can own it free and clear. Maybe it's to pay off credit card debt or the dreaded student loan debt. So whatever your why is, maybe you're looking at different business models and different business types that you can start. And there's a lot of different avenues you can go, right? So being an entrepreneur is one of the, in my opinions, it's one of the coolest jobs out there, because it requires so much of you, a lot of times more than you realize. It requires you to build up all your personal skill sets and the value that you bring to the world. But our nation, our country, was founded on entrepreneurs and businesses and different things. And it's just like the ultimate creation. You're creating something, and it's really, and so I absolutely love entrepreneurship. But I want to talk about, why aren't you a real estate investor? So in light of all of that, entrepreneurship. Now, when you're thinking of the perfect business to start, what you want is, you want something that has a lot of upside, a lot of potential, without a ton of risk, without a lot of overhead and capital and all of those things, right? So one of the misperceptions about real estate is that it's like you have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars in order to make a dent, or you have to have fancy like education or licensing or know the right people. And so I want to kind of shed a little light on that. If you're trying to figure out that perfect part-time business that you can start, and you're comparing it with different things, and whether or not you even want to start a part-time business, I still think this information is going to be valuable for you, because in your life, you are going to deal with real estate in some capacity. Real estate has been around since the beginning of time. Having a roof over your head, having lodging, it's one of the safest investments and assets on earth. And so maybe you have heard that there have been more millionaires created in real estate than any other niche, any other industry, right? So, if you're thinking about the business that you want to start, and you're like, okay, like let's I'm a big fan of modeling. So let's go see what's working. Okay, let's see what's not working right now. Let's see what's been working for a long, long time. And what has been working since the beginning of time is real estate. There's always been, real estate, land, lodging, the boundary of your land since the beginning of time has always been fought over and highly sought after, right? So you want to think of like, okay, what's been around for a long time, and Like okay, if my goal is, let's say your goal is to, become financially free, let's just say, or to have passive income or whatever the case is. Okay, well, what industry has created more people to become financially free? Well, that's real estate, my friend. So maybe you've read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Maybe you've read the book 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. And you're trying to think, okay, how can I make sense of this? Because real estate is this big gamut. When you think about, okay, I want to become a real estate investor, well, before we even get there, you might think, well, maybe I want to become a real estate agent, maybe eventually a real estate broker, maybe I want to rehab houses, I want to flip houses, rehab houses, maybe I want to acquire a portfolio of rental properties. So there's and there's a million other avenues as well that you could go. Two other things that I wanted to mention is that banks offer one of the lowest interest rates for houses. Why? Because it's one of their safest investments, right? People, for the most part, and of course there's a lot of exceptions to this, when you think of like what's the most important bill that you pay, a lot of times you're paying your mortgage or your rent and then your car payment and then your utilities and things like that, food. So why do banks offer the lowest interest rate for mortgages typically? Another thing is that when you think about real estate investing, it's not like investing in real estate is going to be replaced by technology or it's here today and gone tomorrow. So that's another couple of things. But when we think about investing in real estate, a lot of times, or starting a business, we think that it's too complex, right? Or we think maybe there's some other avenues. So I just want to bust a couple of myths and let you know, first and foremost, that you actually don't need a ton of money to get started in real estate. Actually, you can get started as a real estate investor. The beautiful thing about it is with very little money, you don't have to, it doesn't matter your credit score. And I want to put 2 asterisks by those comments there, and I want to circle back to that. The beautiful thing is you don't have to have some fancy office or a ton of inventory or overhead or all this risk that can be associated with it. Now, how can I make those statements? Well, the reason is when you come into real estate, you want to make sure that you choose the right strategy for your goals. And that's what it really all boils down to. So if you want to come right into real estate and start flipping properties or acquiring tons of rental properties, are there no money down strategies to acquire rental properties or rehab properties? Absolutely. There are creative ways to go around, about that, right? There's private money, there's hard money, there's other things that you can do. But are there no money down strategies for, when you have 20 properties that all seem to go vacant at the same time, or to have those repairs and things that need fixing? Not really, right? There's some strategies that are going to require you to have a lot of capital. So it's very important when you get into real estate to choose the right strategy. So that's one of the reasons why one of my favorite strategies in real estate, and why I don't choose to flip houses or have a ton of rentals or other things. I love wholesaling real estate. When you contract on a property where you have that equitable position, and then you sell the rights of that contract to an end buyer. And so you're doing right by the seller, offering them a fair price for the property. You're also bringing in an end buyer and serving them up a deal on a silver platter. And the key is to having enough meat on the bone so that they're making a lot of profit, and then you're making profit in the middle as well. And to do that, there is no startup cost. You don't need a ton of money. There are a ton of free strategies that work very, very well. And the only money that you need is maybe just a little bit of marketing money. And that's what I specialize in, helping you to get up and running and building capital in your business, doing real estate deals. The average deal that I do with my students is $12,500, and I have them start on a very lean budget from $0 to around $100 or $200 a month, and have them focus on some very specific strategies to generate leads and to do wholesale real estate deals. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go in real estate investing, but I want to just kind of stomp out a couple of myths there that, hey, if you're trying to get started in real estate, it's not that you need a million connections. It's not that you need a real estate license. It's not that you need a ton of inventory or even a ton of capital to get going in this business. And then on the opposite end of the spectrum, the results that you can yield are tremendous, right? And that's why there's more millionaires created in real estate than any other industry. Now, obviously, there's a lot from here to get all the way over to here. There's a lot in between. I'm not saying that, just start up a real estate business and you're going to be rich by tomorrow. That is not the case, my friend. But before I end this video, I want to share with you a little article that I was actually reading. And there's a big survey that was done. And one of the titles to the article was that property investments may stand the test of time, like I was talking about earlier in this video, but people just don't realize the potential. So in this survey, it finds that 40% of Americans aren't sure what type of investment has performed the best since 2000. So when you consider like investing in the stock market, investing in the market, or investing in real estate, commodities, bonds, cash, gold, cotton, other things like that, 1/4 of America, so 25%, thought that stocks were the top performing asset since the year 2000. Okay, at the time of this video, it's 2018. So in that 18-year span, 25% thought stocks were there as far as the top investment. And only 16% of America, only 16% thought that real estate was the top asset. Among the remaining asset classes, 9% believe that commodities perform the best, and 6% chose cash equivalents. And there's 3% for bonds and things like that. So what are the actual facts? Since 2000, real estate has outperformed the stock market approximately 2-1, returning 10.71% annually compared to 5.3% annual total return with the S&P 500 index. And that was from December 31st, 2000 to December 30th, 2016. So another fun little fact is that investors should consider the growth taking place in the real estate market. Residential real estate has an asset class of 29 trillion, and the commercial sector adds another 10 trillion to that. But one of the biggest reasons people are not investing in real estate, this survey says that more than 2/3, 70% of Americans think that investing in real estate is more difficult than investing in the stock market or any other asset class. So sometimes the perception is that there's endless research, that there's inspections and bank loans and mortgages and negotiations, and it just gets all a little bit too complex, a little too fuzzy. And so, my friend, I just want to hop on camera with you and let you know the facts of like, okay, here's the top performing asset class. Here's what's been proven since, the beginning of time to be one of the hottest commodities, and it's produced more millionaires than any other industry, right? So my question is, if you're looking for that part-time business to start, if you're looking for something to start with little or no money, if you don't have the best credit, if you have a little bit of time, I strongly consider you thinking about real estate, right? If you've read 4-Hour Workweek, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and you kind of thought like, you know what, I want more than just living and working in corporate America. I want more. I want to be my own boss. I eventually want to quit my job. Maybe you want to do it full-time. Maybe you want to do it part-time. With that being said, my friend, where in the world do you go from here? Well, my friend, again, I just want to thank you for watching this video. My name's Stephen Howell. Definitely check out the rest of my channel here. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to click the subscribe button to my channel, as I have frequent videos coming out each and every week. Right now, I'm averaging about 4 to 5 videos per week, soon to be daily uploads in the world of real estate investing, marketing, entrepreneurship, mindset, all sorts of fun stuff. But where do you go from here? I actually have a step-by-step wholesaling blueprint where you can get started in real estate for very little money, and start learning the skill sets of how to acquire discounted real estate and wholesale those deals to end buyers. The people that you meet, the connections, and the skill sets that you develop are absolutely tremendous. So in my opinion, there's no better way to start as a real estate investor to really start stockpiling capital for many other ventures as well. So again, my way is not the only way, but I know that it works very, very well. And I've had the privilege over the last 4 years to working with hundreds of people around the country. And that is how this step-by-step course called the Ultimate Wholesaling Blueprint was formed. So whether or not you purchase the course below, a ton of people have already started getting started into it and are getting results and are loving it. But whether or not you purchase that, I want you to stick around. I hope that you get a lot of value out of my videos, out of my channel. Let me know your thoughts below this video, what you liked about this video, what you didn't like about this video, other topics that you want to learn in the future. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. I hope you got a lot out of today.